With Domani, was there any sort of turning point with him this offseason where you really started to notice things really started to click? I know he alluded to technique-wise this offseason, he really made a big change.
Technique, but at the same time, it's about him being healthy because it's hard to do anything or any technique if you're not 100% healthy. But the biggest thing is, even once he got healthy, it's the confidence that he can do everything, right? And then even sometimes when maybe it doesn't feel a little right, it's not that you're hurt, you keep going. You know, you're building some scar tissue and different things, and you haven't done movements in a long time. So now I think, the confidence is there, he's back healthy. Now it's just making sure he does everything the right way.
You said you spent time with him outside of the main meeting just to kind of make sure he's up to speed. What was that process of getting him to understand the defense and the techniques and everything?
It's kind of like just, like the times that we have when we come out here and, we have like the little 5 or 10 minutes. Because one thing for him is not like it's an extra 10 minutes or 15. It's like just a little 2-3 minutes and just doing something just to make sure he's doing it on a daily, consistent basis. As long as he can do those things on a daily, consistent basis, then all of a sudden it becomes a habit. And the biggest thing is for him is just building that foundation. And once he has that foundation, he's able to take off. So when you get tired, things get a little hard. You got to make sure you're still doing things a particular way.
He was so talented, especially in high school. Seemed like a lot of stuff came easy to him. These last couple of years, has he kind of gone through that adjustment where not everything is going to come easy to him at this level? How have you seen him kind of handle that?
When you have every quarterback out here that's an Elite 11 quarterback, and every receiver out here is a top 50 player in the nation, you start realizing that when you get to this particular level in practice, this is the game against the best wide receiver. So it's the jump is in high school, maybe you didn't get challenged as much, and you come out here and you get challenged on every rep. And, that's what makes you all of a sudden have to carry over with doing things a particular way.
Mentally, was that hard for him at all to kind of figure out? It took a while?
Yeah, because it used to be when he gave it one catch, the world was about to end. Now all of a sudden, you start figuring the game out and start learning things, and you start accepting and liking the fact that they throw the ball to your particular man because you get a chance to make a play.
As his position coach, how do you kind of handle that in terms of building his confidence and kind of showing him that change?
My particular thing is I'm so hard on them and I'm so hard on the group that if a receiver or something like that is killing your confidence, then I'm gonna break it. So in all respects, the kid, is tough-minded. He's already been through so much that coming out here and enjoying the game of football, you got love for this. He's thankful to even be out here.
What was the evaluation with Roland Wallace that he might be a fit at nickel?
Just as a secondary as a whole, overall, numbers-wise, we're thin, right? And you got a particular player that is, smart. He learns fast. He grabs, ideas. And, we always said, we're just trying to get the best 5 DBs on the field. So whether that's him at safety, corner, nickel, whatever the case may be, we're going to make sure we have the best 5. And then if somebody goes down, you want to make sure you put the 6th best DB in, not all of a sudden the next guy at that particular position. So you got somebody that can learn multiple things and carry it over to practice and learn those things. You got to take advantage of that.
How tough is that transition for a guy that's been a cornerback mostly in his college career? What are the nuances he has to learn with nickel?
It's a lot, to be honest, but it's mainly learning, making sure he understands the checks and everything else. At corner, a lot of it is, you kind of sometimes wait for somebody to tell you what to do. At nickel, it's more you're telling other people what to do. So, somebody when you got a little older mindset, you're mature, the leadership, role that he's taking on is great. It helps us.
How's his experience help the overall room?
A lot, because the competition is high. It was already high. Now you get somebody who who has already produced in games and big time moments in this particular conference. It helps because it brings up, as far as just not only the energy, but it brings up the competition factor.
Coach Neal talked about needing 4 or 5 practices to get a handle on the competitiveness within the group. Is that across all phases, DBs, wide receivers? You sort of need that first week to get a sense of how deep and competitive your group is internally?
Yeah, because still right now we're constantly still putting stuff in. It's not like it's just a day right now where we're just playing everything and everything's in. Every day we're still adding new things into the defense. So today we worked a particular situation. So every day is still a learning curve. So guys not only are learning, but they're able to start adapting to the physicality, the speed. Coming out here early in the morning, long days, it's camp, it's a grind, right? And so you got to make sure that you're extremely consistent with, pretty much your body and everything that you do.
Can guys separate themselves right away, or do they need that full 2.5, 3 week period to determine if they're competing for you.
I mean, you could separate yourself on day one and have the greatest day, but if day two is not the same, or if day three you hurt, you haven't separated at all. So, I mean, it's never really a separation when you have such a good group that it's all in competition.
Let's do one more here.
Obviously, it's a tight competition at cornerback. What do you need to see from Domani for him to push his way into that one of those starting spots?
Just staying consistent. I mean, the biggest thing is, like I say, it's probably 4 or 5 guys that's all went with the first group at corner. So, I mean, he's one of them. So just to make sure he's really extremely consistent in everything that he does, he's very intentional about his work. Thank you.